Coming to the next topic among the 10 commandments, and that is cuts. What is meant by cuts? As per the principle of Vastushastra, any premises or any Vastu should be either square or rectangle. But do you think that today the houses we come across or any other commercial premises we come across, unfortunately all the buildings that are coming up in our country are never in square or rectangular shape. Rather, because of the elevations and offsets, rather I will say, I don't know, understand, there is very much craze for the zigzag or something different type of shapes and elevations in buildings coming up across the Asia region. Rather, Indian Vastu Shastra says that not only every house or premises, but all the buildings should be square or rectangle in shape, but all the square shape and rectangle shape buildings are coming up in Western world, and whatever the pattern they have discarded of elevations and offsets, it is followed more interestingly in Asian countries. If you go through any architectural magazines, or if you come across the photographs of different type of buildings coming up in Asia, Europe and America, you will find maximum number of buildings coming up in Western countries are absolutely in square or rectangle shape, whereas in Asian countries, right from Abu Dhabi till Kuala Lumpur, the elevation pattern is observed very frequently and rampantly. So, because of all these elevations and offsets, we are creating cuts in every house or every dwellings or premises. And whenever there is a cut in any of the direction, cut means missing portion of the square or rectangle, and cut give rise to Vastu defects. And whenever there is a Vastu defect, one has to face the implications, or the inhabitants of that premises will have to face with the calamities. Depending upon the position of cuts, in which direction they are situated, if it is situated in north, northeast or east, definitely there will be a problems like financial crisis, or money inflow will be reduced, academic progress will go down, and health complaints will increase. Whereas if the cuts are in southeast, definitely there will be obstacles, delay, health problem of female members in the family. Southwest cuts will affect the financial status and overall stability of the life, whereas northwest cuts will simply disturb the harmony and coordination of the family. Basically, whatever the effects I have narrated, you need not to write down it right now, because all these type of the effects or the effect of Vastu defect in different direction is going to be repeated many a times. Rather, that is my intention, to repeat it many a times, so that you will be able to remember all those things. Because when you are going to analyze any Vastu, and when you are going to guide any client for his Vastu, you are supposed to remember all these things. Probably today you find it very odd or difficult that you are not able to understand or remember all those ill effects. But in due course of time, automatically you will be able to understand and remember all those ill effects of cuts in all different directions. So in short, cuts in any direction are negative and give rise to Vastu defects, and they are bad. In other words, every Vastu should be square or rectangular in shape. And when it comes to the formation of evaluation chart or the reporting system, in case of cuts, there are two things which are likely to be. One, if there are cuts in any of the direction, then you have to mention it is negative. And if the other option is there are no cuts, that means it is absolutely square or rectangular in shape. So naturally, the result will be positive. I hope in reporting system, when you go through any map analysis and whenever you find there are cuts, you will be reporting it as negative factor. If there is no cut and the Vastu is totally square or rectangular, you have to give the positive marks. And this is all about the brief introduction about the cuts. And now let us come to the most important part of the 10 Commandment chapter, and that is assessing pulse and vibrations of the premises. Assessing the pulse and vibration of any premises or dwelling is definitely very important aspect in Vastu analysis. Rather, there is no any parameter or there is no any specific method to measure or understand the pulse or vibrations of energies in the premises which is under investigation. To understand what is pulse and vibrations, simply I would like to narrate an example which you must have experienced many times in past. Whenever you enter in any of the premises, whether residential or commercial, the moment you enter in, the atmosphere in that premises makes you comfortable and you feel like waiting there or to stay there for a long duration. Rather, many a times it is observed that you don't feel like coming out of that premises. Whereas in some cases, it is exactly reverse of the first example you experience. If you enter in any premises, you feel like how as early as possible I can come out of this. I hope you must have noticed it. If not, from today onward, definitely try to experience this type of things. In fact, rather I will say furthermore, I can tell you in one single house, if there are 3 or 4 rooms, I can simply or easily tell you the pulse and vibration in one particular room is very good. In the other 1 or 2 rooms, it is comparatively good or medium. But in any of one of the room, it is absolutely bad. You don't feel like waiting there for a long time. Even in your own house, you can try and judge. This type of situation may be there. So first of all, to understand the pulse and vibration of the entire house, and then the next step is within the house or within the premises, you can differentiate the level of pulse or vibrations at different levels or in different corners. And this is simply with number of cases you handle, and with experience only you will be able to judge it properly, and then only you will be able to give your answer. So that is why, in fact, after the complete discussion of all the 10 commandments, when we are going to discuss about how to find out the percentage of positive Vastu compliance in any of the premises under investigation, we never mention anything about, rather we never mention anything in the form of positive or negative about the pulse or vibration. We simply mention good or below normal. If it is too bad, we can simply mention too depressed, very much depressed. So, and it is not counted in the final tally of the percentage. In fact, there is another one method to understand the pulse and vibration, and that is simply whenever you enter in any of the premises, just try to feel your breathing pattern. Just try to feel the breathing pattern. You will find some changes. If your right nostril is very much strong and active as compared to the left nostril, you can consider the pulse and vibration in that Vastu or in that premises are good, positive. But the moment you enter in that premises, any of the premises, and if you find the left nostril is more active in breathing than the right, then you can consider it as the pulse and vibration is quite depressed or negative. Furthermore, there is another one criteria, that after analyzing all the factors, that is entrance, living, kitchen, toilet, bathroom, bedroom, center point, Brahma, cuts, and if you find there are maximum negative points, that means the total Vastu compliance is very, very low or very poor, maybe around 5%, 10% or 20%, something below 25%, you can simply presume or take for granted that the pulse and vibrations in that house are definitely poor or below normal. But remember, there are some easy methods to initiate the positive changes in the pulse and vibrations. And that is the first and foremost, setting up the abode of God in right place. If in your house the position of God is at wrong place, and if you bring it to the northeast region, within a short period, you will find that the atmosphere or the pulse or vibration in your house is changing sharply. And this happens definitely. So, for all those in whose house God or the abode of God is placed wrongly, remember, you can check it with experience. In fact, there are some scientific methods also to assess the pulse or vibrations. Once I had a discussion with some of the scientists from Atomic Research Center, and there I came to know there are some instruments with the help of which we can simply measure the electromotive force EMF induced by the electrical wires or the electrical gadgets like television or refrigerator or air conditioner, or even the cell phones or cordless phones. Rather, I will say whatever the energy levels we come to know through these instruments, that also can be a barometer or an indicator for us to understand the position of pulse and vibrations. And in addition to that, there is another one scientific development coming up very fast, and that is earlier it was known as Kirlian photography. Now it has gone into the advanced stage of PIP phototechnology, through which we can simply measure the aura levels around any human body or any object placed in the Vastu, through which we can simply measure. Rather, our institute is engaged in doing lot of research activities and investigation through this technique of assessing the energy levels of different objects placed in the Vastu, and again checking their energy levels after providing some remedial measures, and through that we can come to know what is the improvement in energy level, how the remedial measures provide the results, or what is the outcome of the remedial measures. And slowly we will be able to develop such a device that which can definitely give us the perfect levels of the pulse or vibrations. So till then, friends, you have to rely on your own personal experience, your own feelings. Rather, I would like to give you another one example here, that whenever we go to doctor and when he wants to check when he start checking the patient, the very first thing is he definitely try to check the pulse. We all know that there is a sort of pulse movement, there is a particular rhythm, but the type of rhythm and its impact, it is only those medical doctors who can make out what must be the change or what must be the abnormality or what sort of problems you are likely to face. So as a Vastu consultant, from this pulse and vibrations, we have to understand one thing. Suppose if the pulse and vibration of a Vastu are very weak or very negative, that means we need to provide very strong remedies. If the energy levels or the vibrations and pulse are moderate or good, then probably the extent of remedial measures will be in the medium category. So, in order to finalize the prescription of remedies, the role of pulse and vibration is definitely plays a very important role. I hope you must have understood what is the pulse and vibrations and its importance. So with this, the 10 commandments, the introduction of 10 commandments is complete here. Now let us have case studies and how to find out the percentage of positive Vastu compliance in the Vastu which is under investigation. Friends, now you know quite about the 10 commandments. Right from the entrance, living room, kitchen, toilet, bathroom, bedroom, center point, abode of God, and cuts, and ultimately the pulse and vibrations. Now suppose if you get a map of any premises, you have to study and analyze, and you have to prepare the, the compliance report. How many out of the 9 things, how many things are positive, and accordingly what is the percentage of positive Vastu compliance, where we are and where we want to go. That means, suppose as it is, this house is 33% positive. Remember, if you ask me what is the minimum percentage required, it is not like the Indian examination system that if you get these many marks, 40 marks, 50 marks, you are passed. No. It is simply, I would like to tell you that you have to secure as many as or all the points positive. Then only you will be bestowed with the maximum positive energy we are likely to get from the universe or from the nature. So there is no minimum percentage of positive. It is only go for maximum and maximum right up to 100%. But getting 100% is very, very difficult. Rather, I will say impossible. Even if I go for my own bungalow, as I have already narrated you, definitely I will go for toilet inside. Definitely I will go for a sink and gas stove nearby. So all these Vastu effects definitely will not be able to make my premises or my house 100% positive. But remember, we can reach up to 90 or 95% also, either partially through proper planning and designing, and then remaining part of the negativity can be covered, or rather 100% it can be covered through remedial measures. So planning and designing plus remedies can make your house 95% positive, or even I will say even your house is 0% positive. In that case also, through remedial measures we can make it 95% positive. This is what I want to convey you. Now let us come to the case study number 1. This is a house, rather I will say a very small house, 1 bedroom, hall, kitchen house. There is 1 living room, 1 bedroom, kitchen along with toilet and bathroom. A very small house. Let us see what are the factors that are positive and which factors are negative. So let us start with the entrance of this house. The entrance of this house is situated between west and northwest. We have discussed about this case earlier, and I am specifically taking this case study for analysis again, so that repetition will make you understand easily, since it is your first case study. So the entrance is between west and northwest, and as per the 5 west entrances, see from where the west axis is passing and what should be the position of entrance. This means this entrance is situated between 5 to 25 degree of west of northwest, and hence this entrance is termed as absolutely positive. Remember, here we have to mention what factor under consideration, what is its place, and because of the placement, whether it is positive or negative. That is a remark. So this is one. So entrance is west of northwest, that is positive. Let us come to the living room, which is spread across west and southwest. Again, try to understand the position of living room. The best position for living rooms are northwest, north, northeast and east. Here the living room is spread across west and southwest. That means it is negative. So accordingly in our chart, living room west southwest totally negative. Then comes the position of kitchen, the third factor here in this row, and kitchen is spread across south and southeast. And here in the chart I have mentioned kitchen south southeast, and I have mentioned partially positive. Why partially positive? If you look at this map very closely or minutely, you will come to know the gas stove is situated between, see, this is the axis of south, this is the axis of southeast, and it is situated almost on the junction of south and southeast. The separation level of 22.5 degree influence level. So partially, and it must be exactly on the junction of the two. So there you are getting partly the effect of south, partly the effect of southeast. And second thing is, the person who is working here will be definitely facing towards east. So that is why this is mentioned as partially positive. Had it been, suppose if this gas stove, if you slightly move towards southeast and almost near the sink, then definitely we would have mentioned it total positive and not the half positive or partial positive. So here the first point, entrance, which is fully positive, living room totally negative, kitchen partially positive. That means here out of 3 points, 1.5 point is positive. Now let us go ahead. Then comes the position of MBR. I know you must be able to understand master bedroom. Master bedroom is spread across northwest and north. And as per the 10 commandments, the right position for master bedroom is southwest. I am repeating it purposely to remind you. So master bedroom here is in north and northwest, absolutely negative. So that's why that point goes negative. Then comes the abode of God or temple, which is mentioned here as a temple, which is situated here in south and southwest, and the right place for the position of God according to 10 commandments, north, northeast and east. In this house, it is situated between south and southwest, hence absolutely negative. So the fifth point is negative here. Then comes bathroom, which is absolutely on the east axis, and I told you in 10 commandments the right position for bathroom, north to east. So it is in the east, so positive. WC, that is a toilet, is situated exactly on the northeast axis. The right position for toilet, west and northwest. Here it is northeast. So negative. So accordingly, in the report it is mentioned as negative. Whereas the center point, if you look at this particular square which is drawn here, will show you there are some walls here of towards living room, some walls towards master bedroom, and one of the L-shaped wall of the toilet. 3 walls are encroaching Brahma region. So that means it is partially positive. semi-depressed, or rather I can say in your remark we can mention that semi-open. Semi-open means it is partially positive, partially negative. So half mark. And in case of cuts, as you can see from this diagram, we have converted into it as a square rectangle, and the missing part of the rectangle is in the northeast. That is there is a cut here, and that is the cut in the northeast is negative. So remember, there are 9 factors, and as I told you earlier, when there are 10 commandments, but when it comes to the finding out the positive compliance percentage, we have to work on only 9 factors. Even in this report, the pulse and vibrations are not mentioned, but rather it should be mentioned. How you felt, positive, negative, or completely open or below normal, depressed, something like that. So, see, out of 9, how many points are positive here? This is 1 point, this is half point, 1.5. This bathroom point is completely positive, so this is 1 complete, that is 2.5, and center point is semi-open, so half point here. So 2.5 plus 0.5, that is 3. When there are 3 points positive out of 9, that simply shows this house is 33% positive. I hope with this case study number 1, what are the position of entrance, living, and all the 9 parts of the 10 commandments, and accordingly out of 9, how many positive, this is what you come to know. This particular case study I specifically or purposely I selected because this is small house and there are exactly 9 factors. But if you come across big size houses, if there are more than 2 bedrooms, if there are more than 2 bathrooms, 2 toilets, in that case, what will be what will happen about this 9, and then how we will calculate, all that is we are going to discuss in case study 2nd. So let us come to case study 2.